What's up, guys? Welcome to GoGo Motoring YouTube channel. So in today's video I'm going to give you a quick update on my ownership of the 2003 BMW Z4 3.0i. It's been a while since I released one of these videos, probably at least a year, and just figured it was time to check back in and just let you know how the ownership experience with the Z4 has been going. So still enjoying the car. 4 years later, as much as I did when the car was brand new. No, I'm sorry, it wasn't a brand new car that I bought, but when I first bought the car in 2018. Every time I get in this car, I just have an absolute blast driving it, and I can confirm and report that no matter how much, how long I've owned this car, that sense of occasion of driving this car, doesn't go away. So in that sense, I'm very much continuing to enjoy the car. Reliability wise, I really haven't had any issues with the car after, kind of the biggest thing that I had was what you saw on my channel, which was, the convertible roof issue with the car. Once I got that fixed, really haven't had any issues with the car since. One thing that, and I think this is probably something that every Z4 owner struggles with, at least ones that, kind of have this as their third car. Probably the biggest thing with this car is just finding time to drive it. I try to drive this car to work, at least, kind of once a week if I can. Obviously, with kids and all the extracurricular activities that they have, that's usually how often I can drive it to work once a week. And on the weekends, I get pretty busy, and I don't really have a ton of time, at least at this stage of my life, to get out there and drive the car. Spend like a whole weekend driving the car around on some back roads, mountain roads, etc. I think it's one of those things that I love driving the car. I enjoy driving the car. I just wish I had more time to, drive the car and enjoy the car. It's one of those things that has kind of helped me realize why BMW has had so much success with, I think, all of their cars, and certainly the earlier, kind of, maybe, I don't know about the latest version of the BMWs, but, certainly the 3 Series that I have, the E90 Series, but even, and especially like the M cars, right? It kind of helps me understand why the M cars have been so successful for BMW. And it's because, those M cars, like the M3, the M4, M2, you basically get 2 cars in one, right? Like, you get a practical vehicle that allows you to, live with it on a day-to-day basis, and at the same time, you get a vehicle that's fast, that's sporty, that's fun to drive, etc. And really, how that becomes relevant, especially for like busy professionals like myself, who are going to have the money to afford a car like that, or multiple cars, is time. Like time's like the biggest issue that people my age have, right? It's the most precious commodity that anybody has, and it gets difficult sometimes to, if you have multiple cars, it gets difficult sometimes to find the time to enjoy all those cars, right? And that's really kind of like where the appeal of getting a BMW M car that sort of combines, both an everyday usable sedan with a sports car, performance sports car, comes into play. So that's just, been one of those things that I learned, as an owner of, this car and it not being my daily driver. I don't know what impact that's going to have on my car ownership in the future. There's times that I think about in lieu of having a BMW 3 Series as a daily driver and a convertible, Z4 as my third, fun car. There are times that I think about, does it make sense to consolidate that into one vehicle, maybe buy an M3 with a manual transmission, heck, maybe even an M5, some of the previous generation M5s with the manual transmission, and maybe sort of have that serve as the compromise, because ultimately what that's going to result in is being able to enjoy the car more. So that's really been the only kind of thing that's been on my mind lately as far as the car is concerned. I love driving it, and honestly, I mean, I'm probably going to keep it for a long time. I don't see myself selling it at this point or anytime soon, but I will be honest with you that the thought crosses my mind, especially the other thing that kind of comes into that is if you've got 3 cars, then you got to store an additional car, right? And so that too can sort of have a little bit of an impact, a negative impact on kind of the whole ownership experience. So I don't know. Stay tuned. I'll let you know what I ultimately decide to do. I mean, like I said, I don't have any plans to part ways with this car or get rid of my 3 Series, but because I really do enjoy the setup. I love being able to jump into something different like this car and kind of take it on the back roads and enjoy it. But it's one of those things that I can see maybe at some point I end up, like I said, selling those 2 cars, buying an M3 with a manual transmission, and driving that around for a while. So other than that, if you're thinking about buying a 2003 BMW Z4, I can't, not 2003, but the E85 Z4 or any other subsequent Z4s, you can't go wrong. I mean, at the very least, like even if you just keep have 3 cars temporarily, it's definitely a fun experience, and something that you should definitely try once, if not more often, as a car enthusiast. So, car's almost 20 years old, still works like a charm, and puts a smile on my face every time I drive it. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, leave a comment below, and stay tuned for more videos. Thanks, guys.